Hey guys, so for today's daily devotional, they've entitled it Enough Already. And it says Pharaoh had finally had enough, but he still didn't want to do exactly what God said. Would he get his way? So Moses and Aaron were brought back. Oh, it's Exodus 10, 8 through 27. So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. All right, he told them, go and worship the Lord your God. But who exactly will be going with you? And Moses replied, we will all go, young and old, our sons and daughters, our flocks and our herds. We must all join together in celebrating the festival of the Lord. Pharaoh retorted, the Lord will certainly need to be with you if I let you take your little ones. I can see through your evil plan. Never. Only the men will go and worship the Lord, since that is what you requested. And Pharaoh threw them out of the palace. Then the Lord said to Moses, raise your hand over the land of Egypt to bring on locusts. Let them cover the land and devour every plant that survived the hailstorm. So Moses raised his staff over Egypt, and the Lord caused an east wind to blow over the land all that day and through the night. When morning arrived, the east wind had brought the locusts, and the locusts swarmed over the whole land of Egypt, settling in dense swarms from one end of the country to the other. It was the worst locust plague in Egyptian history, and there has never been another one like it. For the locusts covered the whole country and darkened the land. They devoured every plant in the fields and all the fruit on the trees that had survived the hailstorm. Not a single leaf was left on the trees and plants throughout the land of Egypt. Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron back. I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you, he confessed. Forgive my sin just this once, and plead with the Lord your God to take away this death from me. So Moses left Pharaoh's court and pleaded with the Lord. The Lord responded by shifting the wind, and the strong west wind blew the locusts into the Red Sea. Not a single locust remained in the land of Egypt. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart again, so he refused to let the people go. Then the Lord said to Moses, lift your hand towards heaven, and the land of Egypt will be covered with a darkness so thick you can feel it. So Moses lifted his hand to the sky, and a deep darkness covered the entire land of Egypt for 3 days. During all the time, the people could not see each other, and no one moved. But there was light as usual where the people of Israel lived. Finally, Pharaoh called for Moses. Go and worship the Lord, he said, but leave your flocks and herds here. You may even take your little ones with you. No, Moses said, you must provide us with animals for sacrifices and burnt offerings to the Lord our God. All our livestock must go with us too. Not a hoof can be left behind. We must choose our sacrifices for the Lord our God from among these animals, and we won't know how we are to worship the Lord until we get there. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart once more, and he would not let them go. Pharaoh wanted God to stop punishing him, but he tried to bargain with God. Obedience is not about bargaining. It's about doing exactly what God says. Following God means we please him by doing what he wants in all situations. Are you willing to obey God all the time in every way? And in Matthew 16:24 it says, Jesus said to his disciples, if any of you wants to be my follower, you must turn from your selfish ways and take up your cross and follow me. Pharaoh was a beast, but I mean, if you're honest and you look at it, guys, I mean, I know there were times in my life where I attempted to bargain with God. God, if you'll just do this for me, if you'll just do this for me, I'll do this. Or God, if you'll let this happen, I'll start doing this. Or God, if you're really who you say you are, you're just going to do this. We test God. We test him so much, and God's, I don't think God's above a little testing. You know, he even says every now and then, try me. But there comes a point when we know in our lives that we're playing games. And if we know it, God knows it. What was the verse that says, we see with the eyes, but God sees? How does that go? Man sees with his eyes, but God sees. I messed it up. I did. I cannot remember that verse for nothing. Dang it. Sometimes we see, and sometimes we do not. But God always knows. So we test him. So that's it. Pharaoh, he keeps him and Moses and Aaron. They've got this strange little thing going around. No, tell him I'm sorry. No, tell him I'm sorry. No, tell him I'm sorry. But I'm gonna bargain with him. So we've gone from a no to now we're meeting. Now we're meeting at the table and we're wanting to bargain, and we're reaching the point to where Moses has said, "No, we're not bargaining anymore. This is what we need, and this is where we're going. We don't know what we're doing once we get there, but God will show us how He's to be worshipped." So it's good, I find it encouraging. I'm excited about it just to learn. And as we go through this, guys, the goal is to make our relationship with Jesus better, stronger, and hopefully that's my goal that I have for you. Some are gonna get it and some won't. It's okay. But thank you guys for tuning in to the daily devotional. I'm getting ready to actually cut a vlog, so I'm gonna upload this, and I'll see you again in a little bit. Bye.